Makes sense.
Good. Yeah. All right. So thank you once again, Karibuni. I wanted to start by some round of introductions for those who have joined in early enough. And then if someone else joins in, they'll be able to introduce themselves. Yeah, so we can start in alphabetical order. I don't know what algorithm that Zoom is using. You can see, Philinda, you're just below my video. So maybe you can start by introducing yourself. So by introducing, just say what you do and what's the one exciting thing that you look forward to learning from this journey.
Hi everyone, my name is Philida Amondi. I'm an accountant by profession, but I also have a background in mathematics. I actually look forward to being able to put analytics into the day-to-day aspects of business for better decision making. Yeah, that's all.
All right. Yeah, thank you so much for that introduction. Next. Victoria.
Hi everyone, my name is Victoria Nganda. I'm a telecommunication engineer by profession. I look forward to being able to interlink business and technology at the end of the session.
All right. Thank you, Victoria. There's Kevin.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Kevin Lichungu. Supply chain professional. I'm curious to learn how to utilize data to make informed business decisions and also make a career change as well. Thanks.
All right. What's the organization that you work?
MultiChoice Kenya.
MultiChoice. All right. Thank you. There's an avatar that's not showing the name. Who could that be? Saying user. Who could that be?
Is that me? Trevor.
Oh, Trevor.
Or am I after that?
You are showing.
I see.
Okay. Can you use?
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm Trevor. My background is in engineering, chemical engineering. And I'm quite interested in data science and technology, actually, in general. But I see the future that data science holds, so that's my interest at the moment.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. I also noticed Eric, you've joined us, so maybe you can introduce yourself.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Eric Gitonga. Background electrical engineering, but haven't practiced for some time. Been doing photography. Got back recently into the engineering side of things through data science. So I was in the 5th cohort last year, and currently one of the trainers with predictive analytics.
Yeah. So thank you, Eric. So Eric is going to be one of your tutors in this journey. Yeah. So I'll be sharing with you the course outline and show you exactly which modules he'll be taking you. And I think one thing that I'm noting is we have a couple of engineers on board there. So I'm sure you're going to have a very good time together. Good. So there's a user, and I don't know who this could this be Fiona? Could this be Fiona? Hello? Hello, you can hear me? All right. So I will proceed. Eric, you can hear me?
Yes, I can.
Good. So I'll proceed. Alice is also joined. So yeah, let's proceed. And you can wave. So the rules of this webinar are such same when we are meeting face to face. So if you want to say something, there's a chat box there. You can go and type in quickly. Yeah, you can also raise your hand and you want to draw my attention. Yeah, but feel free to ask any questions as we proceed. Yeah, but then, so the presentation is going to be divided in 3 parts. So this is usually a welcome session where we tend to just get to bond, have some chemistry, get to familiarize yourself with each other, and lay the foundation for the context of the course that we're going to take. Yeah, so I'll start by just introducing myself. But before I do that, just to introduce the organization that I represent, which is Predictive Analytics. And in Predictive Analytics, we do these 4 things. Yeah. So we develop machine learning softwares. We do knowledge sharing. We develop strategy, and then also we do data science as a service. Let me start with data science as a service because it's our newest kid on the block. We actually do placement services. So when you have completed this course, we have a portfolio of clients that are waiting to hire data scientists. So we prepare you for those jobs, yeah, so by doing those placements. So far we've been able to place a couple of our previous students, and some of them have joined reputable organizations such as Barclays, which is ABSA. They've joined PwC, some have joined Deloitte, some have joined, we now have a smart application company that is just about to hire 2 of our graduates. We just finished in the 5th and 6th cohort. We are also doing what we call data science as a service, in the sense that we have a consulting wing that most clients, they may not have the talent internally to do some of these projects, so they come to us to deliver the projects for them. Yeah, so if you finish and you have some particular skill that you're very passionate about that your employer is not tapping, then also we can bring you on board as a consultant on part-time basis, so that you can be able to reap the fruits of your investment as pertains to the data science career. Yeah, so on strategy, we have also made a footing in the industry. So we develop software, we develop strategies for companies, yeah, and these strategies range from corporate data strategy to data governance strategy. One of the very favorites is the data governance one, because after the data regulation policy was signed into law last year by the president, actually all companies have to have a data governance strategy. Yeah, so you need to put measures in place to ensure that the data you have for your consumers is well protected, because the government now is going to have data officers who are going to be going around vetting, and even a compliance certificate will be issued to companies that are not compliant with the data policy. So most companies are coming to us to do this for them, and I'll be showing you some of those in the coming slides. So knowledge sharing is our flagship product that we've been doing for 2 years now. So we've been running trainings, we've been doing open days, and then also we've been doing certifications for different professionals in the data science spectrum. And I'll be giving you more details of this. Already we've shared with you the brochure of our training programs, which carried a lot more details about this. And then Alice has also taken you through a lot of that, so I'll not spend much time on that. The part that I'll need to just tell you a bit more is technical. Yeah, so we actually develop softwares that are being used in different industries. Key among them is banking. We have the media and marketing. We have agricultural sector. We have government and academia. So we have those key sectors that we've developed softwares from. And one of the applications of this, for example, is a HR solution. So we call it a HR analytics, which one of the things it does is able to predict the next employee to leave an organization. Yeah, for banks, we do things like a churn prediction for credit scoring, where we're able to reduce the risk of customers not repaying a loan by designing credit models. Yeah, so these are some of the things that we do, and you can fit in and blend in very easily because the same faculty that teaches you is the same faculty that develops softwares, the same faculty that do the strategy. So why we do use this approach is you notice that we are preparing you for a professional role, which ensures that you're able to add this qualification to already what you have from university, so that you are able to function very easily at your workplace. Yeah, so this is what we do. I'll move now to the next one, which is myself. Yeah, so I'm a certified executive and business coach. Yeah, so I have 2 licenses for practicing executive and business coaching. One is ICF, the other one is WABC. So the reason why I say this first is because a lot more of what you'll experience in data science is behavior change. There's something that has pushed you to come and enroll for this course. Yeah, so why didn't you go and do another course? Yeah, so I always work with the executives to ensure that there is a change of mindset. Yeah, you didn't sit at the comfort of your houses or your offices just saying that, yeah, I've got my engineering career, I'm already sorted, I'll get work. No, you've already seen the changes that are ongoing, and I'll be showing you how those changes are affecting the different industries and why it's important that you enroll for this course. And so you'll be able to benefit from this pro bono. Yeah, so because I do career coaching, I do leadership coaching. Yeah, I also do strategic coaching for companies. So you can call me to come and talk to your colleagues at work. You can call me to come and talk to your peers. If you have a group of enthusiasts around data, we can be able to host a virtual session, open days, just talk to them, show them about the disruptions, and be able to encourage them that there's a new dispensation around this industry that's happening, and it'll be good to give it attention, because if you don't change your mindset, then it means that you're going to be disrupted. So my learning journey in data science started at the MIT. My background is in mathematics, so I studied mathematics at undergraduate, but then I didn't get an opportunity to practice that mathematics. I ended up working in the media industry, for 14 years. But then at the tail end of my media career, I enrolled for a data science course at MIT. It was costly, that time it was costing about 18,000 USD, and it was a 9-month program, modular. So we had 2 sessions in campus and then 2 sessions out of campus, and it was very tedious because very few people understood what this was. You were thrown in the deep end. There was no person to hold your hand, show you, for example, about Python, because we used Python, but there was no one to show you what Python does, what are the elements. So from those experiences I had there is when I came and decided to start this course, because I think unless we have someone who can be able to hand hold you and introduce you to this environment in a very granular way, and then you risk not learning the right way, which is going to be a very costly experience. Like it happened with some of my peers in that course who dropped out. So I combine this skill, of course, with the number of years I've had in the corporate. So I call myself a consumer-facing data scientist. So I solve business problems. So you might find a data scientist who's an academia guy. So for example, someone who has a degree in mathematics, then straight becomes a tutorial fellow, starts doing his master's. So he does his master's in a subject like pure mathematics. Then from there goes to do a PhD in machine learning. So we have those. In fact, if you go to the big technology companies, right now, the highest paying jobs are for guys who have PhDs in machine learning. And those guys came from academia. So they were poached from Stanford, MIT, the Harvards, the Cambridge. They're plucked off from academia direct to come and get these jobs in the corporates. So there's an opportunity for those in the corporates, again, to learn new skills. Because what I've learned is the guys in academia have very little exposure with business application. So they really go to understand. That's where problems start of data ethics, infringement of rights of users, or issues like Cambridge Analytica. Cambridge Analytica was created by Alexander Cohen, who was a professor of psychology at Cambridge University. So he didn't have an appreciation of how the consumer protection of rights could be governed. And that's why it ended up boiling into the magnitude it did. So there's a balance. I wanted to use an example to show you how to encourage you that you're in the right space, because you've started off from the business side, now you can add another skill on top of it so that you can be able to blend well with the future changes in your career. Yeah, so I've also authored a book. So this book is with the Longhorn Publishers. Yeah, so it's one of the book, most of the materials in this book. Yeah, so I've also, right now I'll share with you virtual materials, virtual resources, and some of the articles I've written over the years in the Business Daily, Daily Nation, and the CIO. Yeah, and then there are also some YouTube links of some TV interviews I've done before around this subject. And we hope to do a lot more of this. So the next part, so this is about Treblex, the Data Hub. So Predictive Analytics was registered as Treblex Data Hub. It was registered 3 years ago in 2017. And before that, I've said I was in the media. So I was the general manager at Daily Nation, where we use data again to divest out of the business. So we shut down brands like QTV, Nation FM, Easy FM, and Key Radio. Yeah, so we use data to make those tough decisions. And then I moved to Citizen as the head of digital, where we launched brands like Shabiki, which was a betting platform, and then also Viusasa, which was a platform that uses data to digitize how advertising is done and content is shared. Yeah, so this just shows you about the evolving business landscape. So I think we've heard about the fourth industrial revolution, which is the buzz right now. But I don't know if any of you has an explanation. What is this fourth industrial revolution? Maybe I can just open the floor for a few interaction. What do you think is the fourth industrial revolution? And I can put this one here. So what do you think is the fourth industrial revolution? Any takers? Anything? Just say anything. I can pick someone.
I can just add something. My understanding of the fourth industrial revolution is sort of a great acceleration in technological advancements. So we talk about the data sciences, the AIs, the IoTs. So just big advancements in those technologies and people using them as well.
Yeah. Thank you. That's what it is. And before I come back to this slide, I wanted to show you this one. So this is the fourth industrial revolution. As you can see, today we are living in a world of automation. Just as Trevor said, there's a lot of automation and advancement in technology that's enabling things like voice, image, video to be analyzed. So now this is a whole journey. I'll share with you a link where you'll be able to calculate how your job is going to be automated. Yeah, so it's actually on our learning platform. I'll show you where it is. So as I said, there'll be virtual resources associated with this. You'll be able to create an account in a student learning environment. And then I'll show you exactly where you'll go and find that resource. It's called robotic process automation. So you'll be able to key in your career. So if you're in the finance industry, you just key in that you're an accountant or a finance manager. If you're an engineer, you just key that you're an engineer, and then you ask it. Yeah. So maybe I can just stop this share here, and then we can do it quickly so that you see where it is. So this is the platform. Sorry, it's not sharing. Widgets. Share screen. So this is the student platform where you'll be learning. There's a link in this presentation. You'll see lab.predictiveanalytics.co.ke. So you'll come there, click on register, and then you set up an account. Yeah. When you set up the account, you come and sign in using that account. Yeah. So for instance, I'll just key in my account. And then when you're in here, you will see the different courses. So we'll be taking this course at this level, Python. So all your tutors, this is where you'll be finding your material per week. Yeah. So I'll skip that for now. I wanted to show you this demo. Now, when you click under resources again, you'll find other aspects of personal branding, what you need to do for you to be recognized as a data scientist, influential people to follow. There'll be more resources. Here you'll find things like books, presentations. We have all those books, data sets. Yeah, sometimes you don't have data. We'll be referring you there. But for purposes of the demonstration I wanted to do, you'll find it under coaching. So under coaching, there's something we call surveys. There's this part, you're able to see BBC, will a robot take your job? Yeah, so this tool was developed by the BBC. Now when you click on it, it will show you exactly. There you go. So you'll just come here and then just play around and see related topics. You come and put oh, there's something which has been closed here. So maybe you need to have a strong internet connection, but it's under here. Let me just switch my connection. It's under this widget over here. Yeah, you'll find that resource. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so this one I'll be showing you most of these resources as we continue. So I wanted just to demonstrate to you one of those. So the fourth industrial revolution, a lot of jobs are going to be lost. And because of that loss of jobs, new skills need to be developed. Okay. Yeah, so I can see a chart. Let me share the screen again. So this is where we are. Now the first industrial revolution, fourth industrial revolution. So let me take you back a little bit back here. So there's something now we are calling the VUCA environment. This is the work environment is changing. Now because of technology and analytics, we are seeing that people intervention is changing. There's what we call upskilling and reskilling. So upskilling means if you are already trained in a certain area, for example, engineering, now you don't go and do a master's in engineering or a PhD in engineering. You go and take another qualification in a different line. So that what you're doing now is you have put engineering aside, you're coming to gain a different skill, which is not in line with your first qualification. That's what we call upskilling. Reskilling, for example, just for purposes of explanation, is for example, like Kevin working in supply chain. You already have some certifications in procurement or supply chain. Now you go just to reskill yourself, yeah, in a same area of a supply chain. Yeah, so these words are used interchangeably, but we are very strong in the upskilling area where you find, like this class, for example, we have someone from supply chain, we have someone from engineering, we have someone from telco. Yeah, we're all in one class. And then this is what is now the current situation we are facing now for this COVID-19. Of course, we've been teaching a lot of executives about VUCA. So even before the COVID-19, there were a lot of complex business environments. For example, you've got a situation like Facebook, you've got YouTube, you've got Google, who have come and they're now slicing away the revenue shares of traditional media houses. Yeah, so those are complex business models. Then the vote of change, volatility. Businesses are changing so fast that it's very hard for you to put pinpoint. Yeah, you can maybe you just need to look at the stock exchange, the stock market price, and see the rate of change of depreciation of most of the market value, and for you to understand the volatility that I'm talking about. And then ambiguity, lack of clarity about meaning of an event. For example, right now with this COVID-19, we don't know exactly what's gonna be the impact of this to the businesses. Then this again boils into uncertainty. So most companies are not able to plan for that. So because of this, again, we are saying that using data and analytics, it can help you create clarity and solve some of those challenges. So when you start looking at the business application side, think more about this, and then also think about this. So every time you call yourself a data scientist, yeah, it means you have these three other pillars lying on top of data. So a data scientist, first of all, will drill the data to get the information out of it. Yeah, so we'll teach you about the tools using Python of how to get information from data. So for example, right now we have a huge data set of sensors data that we are drilling, yeah, to get particular pointers of information to make decisions based on the census data. Because if you look at the census data, it's just in Excel, you'll not be able to get the information out of it. So there's a particular topic, second mode from the second month, which is visualizations. Yeah. So after the first month, which is NumPy and Pandas, that will be showing you data cleaning. So that sits under here. Yeah. Information. Then when you move to knowledge, that's when you find now applications of like machine learning. So how do you able to predict about things that are going to happen? And when you predict accurately, then you become a wise man. So that's where wisdom is at the top. So this is the pyramid. I'll show you again this one in the coming slides, but now we've inserted technologies involved in each of these steps. So back to basics, everything here is about information supply chain. At the bottom of the pyramid is information. So how do you generate the information, which is acquisition? How do you store it? Yeah, how do you encrypt? How do you backup, duplicate? Yeah, so there'll be skills required in each of this level. And then how do you apply it? So a lot of data scientists cut across all this. So you might find data scientists who have a computer programming background. So they develop apps which generates data. You'll also find data scientists who are very good in SQL and database and data lakes. So they'll be sitting in the second tier for data administration. And then now we have what you call the consumer-facing data scientists, who will be doing the delivery, the packaging, visualization, the transmission, and reports of data. For example, a credit reference bureau is in the business of selling data, yeah, for credit, the credit reference of our customers. So this is how this pyramid looks like. So every time you see the word data, sometimes you can replace it with the word information, especially if you're working with lay people, because every time, most people actually still don't know the value of data or the meaning of data. Yeah, in the ordinary street language, so when you talk about data already, it goes to IT. But finance, for example, finance has a lot of information it has. Yeah, from your, for example, your P&L, you generate transactions from the point of sale. Yeah, then those transactions are stored and scripted for security, but then you develop visualization reports so that the business can make decisions out of those reports. So there's also this chart, which is an old favorite chart that can also help you understand the entire journey of data science. So the beauty is you have these slides with you, but also I'll just be pointing key aspects of this course and what you expect to learn. Yeah, so this data quality is the first stage, which I've mentioned in the previous slide. You may need a data scientist with programming skills. Yeah, so you don't need to go and study programming for example, Java or Android. No. So you work alongside teams of people who already have those skills. So where we pick up mostly is from the descriptive statistics. Yeah, so here we use a basic statistical tools such as mean and standard deviation to provide some charts which can just describe the how the data looks like. So this is called identifying factors and causes. The second part is the diagnostics. Yeah, so this we use a bit advanced statistical tools such as the chi-square. Yeah, we use linear correlation coefficients. Yeah, to be able to do some diagnostics of the meaning and reason behind the data. Then the next stage is predictive. So this is where forecasting comes in, and this is where you apply now the likes of linear regression to be able to predict. So there's a more advanced, these are advanced in the sense that a business analyst who is down here will not work with linear regression, but a statistician can be able to work with it. As you move up the ladder semantic, this is where we now use machine learning. Yeah, a lot more prediction. So over here now you'll find things like random forests, you'll find other decision tree classifiers. Yeah, so this one will be coming on the 3rd month. So on this journey, I just want you to understand when we start doing the first stage, it will be descriptive, just playing around with data, cleaning it. Then we move to diagnostic to show you exactly how you diagnose the data. How do you create insights and discover meaning in that data? How do you build models for prediction? Simple ones, going to complex ones using machine learning. And over here, now we start using unstructured data. So things like voice, image, video. And that's where, for example, telco data can be analyzed. In the finance sector, we talk about using Twitter, sentiment analysis to look at the tweets that a CEO puts to predict whether a company will make a profit or not. In the supply chain, that's for Kevin now, we can do what we call route optimization, store optimization. Yeah, you have a store. You need all the space in that store when you have a godown, when you're storing your products there. Yeah, so there's a lot of applications on this journey, but I think this is going to help you see the full length of that. Yeah. Any questions? Any questions so far?
All clear from my side.
Okay. All right, thank you. So I'll move to the next slide. So this is now shows you a little bit more now from a top view. Yeah. So if you want to understand it without using a lot of technical jargon. So descriptive is what will happen. Then diagnostics, why did it happen? You're asking yourself, why did it happen? Predictive is what will happen. So you're looking in the future. Then prescriptive is how can we optimize? Yeah, so this is where we talk about deploying of models. Yeah, so you don't just leave it at descriptive stage. So in most businesses at stage 1 and 2, they'll do a lot of descriptive, but then and diagnostic. So for example, in finance, you have a management accountant who will do the why did it happen? Yeah, but then we don't do a lot of forecasting to say what will happen if this trend continues. So we use mathematical models to build this. And then adaptive is how we learn. So this is where culture comes in. So learn from user behavior to increase focus, skilled people, and exceptions. Yeah, so when you see this slide, this is how you interpret it. Now this is a big data story map. So I wanted to introduce the concept of the data lake here. Because again, as we work, I want you to start building your vocabulary of the words that we use around this subject. So you'll hear something called 8 V's, 6 V's, 4 V's. Yeah, so this V, volume, variety, velocity, there's veracity, yeah, there's value. So there are different definitions of those, but the most commonly used are volume, variety, and velocity. And I'll just describe each in the context of data science. So volume means a lot of data. Now I wanted to use this example, for example, with the tools that we use, the tool of Python. We all use Excel in analyzing data, and that data is mostly structured. So maybe transaction data, finance data, or ERP data. But now when you talk about unstructured data, the volume is so huge. It cannot be stored in Excel. So the reason we use Python is because Python has got some GPUs, graphic processing units. Basic though, but Python can process much more faster than Excel. So the same models that you run on Excel, you can run them on Python. So once you start learning Python, you'll find it very valuable to know that it's an investment for life. All the skills that you had in the previous tool that you're using are easily transitioned into Python. There's also variety. So under variety, it shows the diverseness of the data. So one unique thing you'll see with Python is you'll be able to analyze one type of data in one line. Yeah, for example, you're analyzing census data. Then you move to the next line, you call a library, you call a function from a library, you're able to analyze voice data from your customer care. You move to another line, you're able to analyze video data from CCTV footage. Yeah, so all using Python. So Python is able to compute all these various applications. And then velocity. So using some frameworks we use to deploy, and we have a different course called data engineering, where you're able to deploy platforms such as Spark, MapReduce, Hadoop, to be able to compute data real time. So for example, those are the platforms that Uber, Airbnb, Booking.com, those are the platforms they use for computing real time matching of customers. So that's what I wanted to share with you at this point. So it's related to what we do with Python. And then on the right hand side, this is the business value, big data value chain. So we don't leave anything behind. You can see there's finance application, there's procurement application, guys in marketing and product development, there's manufacturing, sales and marketing, distribution. So you find a lot of these applications all in one tool, which is Python. Yeah, so we'll be seeing a lot of those in the different projects that I will be taking you through. We'll touch on a number of applications for the business. So this is also a summary of the value that data analytics fuels disruptive models. Yeah, so we are able to use data to create discovery and innovation. Yeah, I've talked about Uber, and Uber is all about radical personalization. Orthogonal data sets. So we're able to look at different alternative sets of data. This is very important for you here, especially if you're an engineer and you're used to looking at one type of data. Now we are giving you an option to look at auxiliary data sets. If you're in finance, for example, and the only data you've been working with is finance data, now we're trying to tell you, you can be able to analyze social media sentiment analysis to be able to tell the profitability of a company. Yeah, if you're in supply chain, we're now telling you can be able to look at geographical information systems, GIS data, to be able to optimize your supply chain cycle. So this is what we call orthogonal data sets. Then massive data integration, because of the cloud storage abilities that we use when running most of our projects. You're able to integrate CCTV footage, you're able to use unstructured data, so various types of data. We'll be showing you those types of data, and we already have samples of them. You can already get started dipping your hands into it to get experience. Then, of course, deployment. So this tool, this comes in a different course. How do you bring your model to life? Yeah, and then enhanced decision making. So this is also a leadership perspective. So this one will teach you how you're able to make decisions using the data that you've created. So another part that I wanted to show you is this is the framework that describes the entire spectrum of data science. So the first generation is about sensing. Yeah, of course, there's a word called artificial intelligence. So I wanted you to first don't be using that word a lot, because all it means is machine learning. And machine learning is mathematical models combined with computational power. So, for example, we got models that do sensing. So sensing is about detection. So for instance, in finance, we talk about detection and repairing. for example, in audit. Yeah, so when you do, first of all, you detect and repair, means something has already happened. Yeah, also in engineering systems, yeah, you detect a fault, then you repair it. But if you look on the right-hand side, it's called act. Whereas on the left-hand side, it's detection and repair. This side is about predicting and preventing. Yeah, so for example, in the context of a telco network, are you able to build a model that can predict a network failure and prevent that from happening? Yeah, so we use the same models in machine learning to build those models. Once you put in the right data, then you do feature engineering, use the right application of that data, then you achieve these three. And these are very important: sensing, thinking, and acting. So this is, if I take you back to the fourth industrial revolution, that slide that you saw that was talking about the automation, this is the principle and philosophy that guides it. So you have systems that can sense, the systems can think, and the system that can act. Yeah. So just to give you the trick, all this is done using Python. Yeah. So depending on the data that you've put in and you're analyzing and how you deploy it and the calibration of your model, you can be able to detect, sense, and the system can be able to think. So thinking, this is what we call machine learning. And then the acting is the deployment of the model to prevent something from happening before it happens. Yeah, so I hope this slide will be helpful to you to understand what we are preparing you for, to be industry leaders in embracing automation. Yeah, so these are the skills which cut across in a business application. The first level is data collection and basic analysis. So right now you find a lot of guys graduating with their statistics. They go to work in a research company. So this is the work they'll be doing. Yeah, then you start doing a bit of data integration and consolidation, storing and modeling. Yeah, then business reporting and analysis, then predictive analytics, then on top. So any data science project that you'll undertake will also follow this, and it all goes with the level of maturity. And even now, our course is designed this way. So we'll start at the very basic. First of all, we've collected the data for you, but we'll introduce you to basic analysis using pandas and NumPy. Then we do some data integration and consolidation using the SEM. We move to visualizations. We are using, this will be now business reporting and analysis. Then move to prediction models, then cognitive analytics, yeah, which now is a more advanced frameworks for example, predicting the behavior of customers. Yeah, so that shows you the pyramid of how the knowledge cascades. So for example, don't jump and start learning about predictive analytics and you've skipped here. Yeah, so you're going to have a bit of trouble with the legitimacy of the data that you're going to deal with. So the data could be corrupt and it could give you misleading results. Yeah. So just learn step by step, building blocks, and then challenge yourself with more tasks as you become proficient in the lower level challenges. So I promised you I'll show you the kind of technologies that can be used in each of these pyramid. Yeah, so for example, in the collection, we use instrumentation, logging, sensors, external data. So external data will be like from government sensors. You have, for example, in the telco industry, you've got logs and sensors that stream the data. Yeah, in the finance sector, you've got data from ERP. Yeah, in supply chain, you've got information and data from your vendors and other aspects of performance of the business that you log. Then moving and storing. So we have reliable data flow, infrastructure, pipelines, ETL, structured and unstructured data storage. So here we have got different technologies that we use for that storage. Then cleaning, anomaly detection and preparation. Then we move to analytics, metrics, segments, training of data. And then after that, optimization, A/B testing, then AI and deep learning. So this is how the knowledge cascade looks like. Yeah. So some of these are the very basic here. You'll just go and get data already prepared for you. Then now we start learning from step 2, 3, going up. So this is also another part which I wanted to lay clear so that you don't find it confusing or you don't find yourself hard to, yeah. Okay.
Sean is watching a movie.
Yeah.
Sean
Okay.
is watching a movie with that phone.
All right.
And I want to watch.
Yeah, go and tell mommy. Okay. This is called working from home. Okay. So there's the data business person, there's a data creative, there's a data developer, and there's a data researcher. So you can actually classify yourself to fit in any of these roles, but depending on the background and the skills that you have. Yeah. So for instance, if you're very strong in business, yeah, then the business is the one in orange. If you're very strong in statistics, then you become a data researcher. If you're strong in business, you become a data business person. If you're a data developer, then it means you have a fair balance of these skills. Yeah. So let's move a little bit down to show you what each of those skills entails. So as a business, you'll be needed to have exposure in product development and then business applications. So this, for example, if you're coming from procurement side or supply chain side or finance side or marketing side, this is going to be a strength. From machine learning, big data, you need to have exposure on how to store data which is unstructured. Structured, you need to have some experience in machine learning and big data and distributed data. In mathematics and operation research, some models of mathematics, graphical models, Bayesian, algorithms, simulations. So these are the guys who do a lot of feature engineering and models. Then in programming, system administration, backend programming, front-end programming. Yeah, so backend programming, developing tools like apps, which can be able to glean data. Front-end programming, developing APIs that can be able to relay data and front-end visualization portals. And then under statistics, you can build visualization tools, surveys, marketing, spatial statistics, science, data manipulation. Yeah, so when you look at this grid, it's supposed to guide you to see what kind of data scientist are you preparing yourself to be. Yeah, so just have it in your library, keep researching on them, and then you'll see where your strength is as you continue proceeding with this journey. And I'll be showing you the different types. For example, now data developer, you can have someone who's a developer or an engineer. A data researcher, you can have a researcher, a scientist, or a statistician. A data creative, someone who does a jack of all trades, an artist and a hacker. A data business person is a leader, a business person, and an entrepreneur. Yeah, those are the kind of variations you'll see. Then also in careers, these are the differences in data science roles across industries. So the same way we've seen here. So you find that in information technology, you've got guys who are working there, they're developers. Yeah, so for example, if you want to go and work at Oracle or Google or Facebook as a data scientist, it means you have to be strong as a data developer. In the education and science sector, it's data researcher. So these are academia. If you want to go and lecture, you have to be very good in research. Yeah. Let me pick another industry, retail and consumer. Yeah, so you want to work at Tuskys, Naivas as a data scientist, it means you have to be very good in business. Yeah. Let's see, creative in communication sector. Yeah, so for example, an advertising agency or a PR firm or a media like a BBC or CNN or Nation Media. You want to be a data scientist, that means you're very good in creative. Yeah. So this just shows you where each industry has got a preference for what kind of data scientist. So you can already tell if you're at Safaricom, then data scientists with a preference, they'll be in the IT technology department. Yeah. These are the skills. So maybe you've seen this chart somewhere. Yeah, but it's good that we just have it here. So you start ticking the box of the skills that you'll be learning in this course. So you have to have four dimensions. So the first one is math and statistics. So we'll give you a little bit of this because we appreciate the fact that most of you don't have mathematical background, but then most of this is covered on the intermediate level. But we'll give you the introduction when it comes to machine learning. Yeah. Then programming and database. So we purely use Python. There are so many of them, but we use Python for the simple reason that Python is robust. Python continues to be dynamic. It's very easy to learn for beginners, and it's very integratable with many other technologies. So you don't stand to lose out when you're using Python. Another part that I wanted to show is the domain knowledge and soft skills. You've seen in that portfolio for students, you have a part that talks about passionate about business, curious about data. The part that talks about coaching and your personal skills, branding yourself. Yeah, we'll be showing you how to write articles on platforms such as Medium, Kaggle, Data Science Central, and all those articles are going to help you build a brand for yourself. So for example, my journey to a data scientist, because I used to be known as someone like a media personality. I was a media personality, but I had to rebrand myself to a data scientist. What did I do? So I got a column on the Business Daily, and I was writing every week. I was writing a story about data, and with time, I changed my brand now to be a data scientist. There are also communication and visualizations. So my journey around this has been storytelling. There's something that I always encourage. There's a word I like using, encouraging you to be data evangelists. Yeah. So every meeting that you're sitting in the office, just try to mention the word data 2 or 3 times a day. Yeah. And you start carrying on that conversation forward. So people start noticing something different with you. Yeah. Getting opportunities to mentor others. Yeah. Holding webinars. Before COVID, I used to visit a lot of conferences to give talks, going to schools, both secondary and universities to give talks around data. Just communication to be able to develop a brand around yourself. This one also is good to know. Of course, the average age of a data scientist is 30 years. This is just based on the US research, not here. So here it could be different. And why is it 30 years? Because already it's assumed that by the time you hit 30, you've already had an exposure with all this. You've done some business problems you've solved. So you've worked for about 6 or 5 years. Yeah, you're also good in communication. You can go and present to the board, or you can do a few other things. Coding and mathematics and statistics, these ones can be learned even at 12 years. But these other 2 cannot be learned unless you go into the workplace and get some hands-on skills. Yeah. Then I think you'll be learning about this data science method. So we'll be teaching you mostly linear regression, but the other ones, decision tree, random forest, neural networks, those ones are not used a lot. Most of the model that is used is a logistic linear regression. And that's the reason why we say that you don't need a lot of mathematics, because if you're only using these 4, why then you need to go and study the entire mathematics? The language that we use is Python. You can see here 76% of guys use Python, but that doesn't mean that you need some bit of SQL. Yeah, R, no. If you're doing Python, then don't even waste your time going to R. Just focus on Python, but get some bit of SQL. Yeah. And then also highest education, 42% is masters. Yeah, so we don't have any university here in Kenya providing this. Yeah, so we still, so for example, I lecture at the Strathmore Business School, I lecture at USIU, I lecture at AMREF, and I've helped all those universities come up with a curriculum for data science, but unfortunately it's not been approved by the Commission of Higher Education. So the course that we're doing now helps you gain critical skills that are helping you to bridge that gap of the talent that we're experiencing. So these other ones are not either here or there, but I wanted to move to this. So first you start by working, you become a data wrangler, model jockey, then you become a data scientist. So this one takes time for you to reach this stage. Yeah. Now this is the difference. Sometimes we can get confused with the definitions. You might see a job advert asking for a data architect, then see another job asking for a data analyst or data scientist. Or you may want to go and engage for your HR for your role to be redefined. So this is the difference. So the spectrum of data has got all these steps: representation, movement, reporting and summarization, interpretation, extrapolation, and prescription. So a data architect will be in charge of the first two, representation and movement. So this basically means acquisition and storage. So this is a guy who's very strong in SQL databases. So their work is to prepare, clean, and store data and move data from one point to the next. And data analysts, and these are the guys who have existed for very long. This role has been there for many years. Yeah. So their work has been reporting and summarization, then interpretation of that. So they'll get data in Excel, they do some charts. So previously they mostly use SPSS, yeah, Starter. You've had those traditional tools, yeah. And they do some charts, then they present to management. Then the third definition is data scientist. So you can see the spectrum of data scientists is more. Over and above reporting and summarization, interpretation, there's two roles added: extrapolation and prescription. Now these two, actually, if you look at that pyramid, the curve that I showed you, this one match with that. So extrapolation is prediction. Prescription now is adaptation. Yeah, so that's why you find data scientists covering a lot more breadth. So when it reaches extrapolation, the tools will change. So this is when you talk about prediction models. So using linear regression. Yeah. So for here, you may not use Python. It's not compulsory, but when you come to predictions, you cannot avoid to use Python. So that's why we prepare you to have all the skills from reporting to prescription. So I hope this is clear in terms of what skills you need to have, and also how your role is perceived in the industry, the definition of your career. So where do you find the jobs? So just to, in fact, sometimes you may not even see the word data scientist in some of these jobs. And we'll give you a platform where you'll go and see some jobs being advertised. You'll see and look at the JDs of those jobs. Yeah. So this CFDS is consumer facing data scientist. So that's what we are preparing you to be. So out of this, you'll end up in anthropology. Yeah. So it's very strange that anthropology actually has a very high demand in as data scientists. Data-driven advertising, you may end up in an advertising agency or advertising department. Customer ethnography. Yeah, very interestingly, in HR, people data scientists. So the HR departments actually are moving more towards HR analytics, and you may end up building your career in that direction. We have also behavioral economics. We have what we call social physicists, decision-making psychologists. We have also data journalism for the media. So it's very broad. Yeah, when you look at this, it actually shows you that you become very versatile. Yeah, so you can fit in. Once you have the Python skills and you have the creativity, you can fit in any professional vertical or any industry. Yeah, so the choice is yours. Why not just point you about the possibilities and see where your strength lies and where the biggest opportunities are rising. So these are the industries again. The IT taking a lot of the jobs, 26%. Education and science. So most universities are also taking up a lot of guys to go and teach these courses. Consulting, yeah, 13%. Financial services, banks, 11%. Yeah. So once you have this skill, this is like a guideline, a checklist to show you where you can go and apply for a job and get easily. If you go down here, for example, legal services, you cannot go to a law firm and apply for a data science job. Yeah, these ones are very low, oil and gas. But towards the left side, they're higher. They've got a high appetite for these skills. So this is also something that you need to have in the back of your mind. As start this course, start preparing yourself for the market. Yeah, so I'll just skip this. These are definitions about the different roles: data analyst, data scientist. If you want to read them there, you'll understand the tools they use. Yeah, so this is also another important one. So how are companies getting data scientists? So there's competitive hiring, there's internal training, scaling of technical stuff. So I just wanted to speak to, so most companies, number one, they're hiring. So this is the leading data science entry point. Yeah, so you get hired. Yeah, so once in a while you get lucky to be sponsored to do a course by your company, but then you don't want to be bonded. Once you get sponsored by a company, tell you have to work for us for 2 years, or you refund the money that we used to sponsor you to go and train. Yeah, so we prepare you for competitive hiring. As I said, we run an agency for helping you to fine-tune your CV and match you with the potential employers. Yeah. And then this other part, scaling of technical staff. So this is also done by companies. So someone in statistics, finance, engineering, IT, mathematics, risk, computer. So these ones can be transitioned into data science. Yeah. So you're not in the wrong place. You can already see all your careers are listed here. So I wanted to move to the second part, which is now the learning bit. But this bit is just you already know about a lot of this information which has been shared prior to you enrolling. So I'll go straight to, so you'll find information about us here. So we have 10 full-time employees, 7 partners, 20 consultants. You've met Alice. You've met Eric is going to be talking to you shortly, just so that you can get used to his voice. I don't know whether Fiona is here as well. We're supporting customers, so we've trained over 500. This is the 9th cohort, and this is just in Kenya. Yeah, so you see we are in 7 countries. Yeah, so we've trained in Uganda, we've trained in Kigali, we've trained in Tanzania, we've trained in Johannesburg. In Johannesburg, actually, we have a lab that's fully running, same like we do here. Yeah, so we work across the region. I'll also skip that. So yeah, so the beauty is we have these training options and our classroom training, live virtual classes, training on demand, and then learning subscription. So the one we are doing now is a blend of virtual and classroom training. So if it so happens that our, what's it called, the COVID situation isn't in the course of this, then we'll go back to our lab. We already have set up infrastructure there. You're able to access a lot of data on premise. We have census data, we have Uber data. We have a fully functional lab with a lot of data sets to play around with. We have this side, which is a self-study learning. Yeah, so which I'll be showing you the resources. So you can also learn on your own. Yeah, we have some free platforms. When you feel like you need to read ahead, just feel free, go open the notes, watch some videos, read, do some coding. So it's really going to be based on your learning speed. So don't feel restrained by what you're sharing on a weekly module. So we do what you call blended learning. Yeah. So I'll go straight to this slide. And this one shows you our training approach. So we have lecture sessions, group activities, experiential lab sessions. Yeah, we have case study reviews, capstone projects, surveys and quizzes, we have practical presentations, participant presentations. So after every level, there's always a presentation that you do. And at the end of this course also, you come up with a capstone project, one that is going to impact your business directly. Yeah. Then post-training, of course, you can get feedback, prepare a post-training report, and all the other elements. So let me show you this. So also this is important. So there are different levels of training. So we are in these technical teams where you need over 100 or so hours of training. The other guys here, AI, about 50 hours, so there's no code here. And there's a top level, it's mostly senior, so it's less. So you are in these technical teams. So we'll give you work and code that will take over 100 hours. So I'll skip. Maybe just to show you, we have professional verticals. So as I said, Python is being applied in every of these. So At the specialty level, we have finance analytics, HR analytics, marketing analytics, sales analytics, and supply chain analytics. But before you do this, at least you have to learn the introduction to Python, because Python now is applied in every of this. So we have specific modules that we'll be offering. These are like 2-day, yeah, they're not long, yeah, very specific. You go and you'll find the information on our website about this, and I'm sure most of you have already told you about this. We also have these technical trainings. You can see data engineering. The one you're doing is introduction to data science. There's intermediate, there's advanced. Yeah, these are the technical ones. Yeah, this is an example of a bank. And a bank, so when you see it, we have each for each industry. So everyone needs to be trained, from the Exco to the credit department, the technology department, digital banking, finance, product development, customer, and sales. So there's something, there's a curriculum for everyone. Yeah, so you're at the early stages of this, and that's why we are looking up to you to be able to be good ambassadors of what products you're going to speak out there, so that the entire organization becomes data-driven. So we also do coaching. So if you feel like you need a career change, you need to be placed, the job placement, just feel free to talk to me. If you find an event somewhere you want me to come and speak and encourage, so any of us, I think Eric will speak about an event that initiative is started for data visualization. It's a community. Yeah, so those are events that we do just to bring the conversation going. So this is one important last bit. So this is on the second last page. So this is where you find the resources now. Yeah, so before the class on Saturday, we'll encourage you to go first to lab.predictiveanalytics.co.ke and then download. Set up an account, as I've shown you. And then Alice and Fiona will be calling each of you to ensure that you've downloaded the software that we use in class. So that come Saturday, we all start on the same page. You've downloaded the software that we use, and so that we start playing around with it on the Saturday in the first class. We also have a platform for vocabularies, these glossaries.predictiveanalytics. When you go there, you'll find some words. It's good just to peruse, see, read, just to build your vocabulary on some of the words you use in data science. There's exams. After every week, we'll be giving you an assignment. This assignment will be hosted in this portal. So Eric will speak we'll speak some more about this. So you'll need to send him your email so that he creates for you a profile for your exam. So after every unit, you'll find some 5 to 10 questions. They are ABCD. Yeah, it takes you about 20-30 minutes just to test your retention of some facts. Yeah, this is important because it helps us to build some credibility in our program, so that by the time we give you a certification at the end of the 12 weeks, it's based on some certain criteria that you fulfilled. And then besides that, you're working from home, you need a break from life. We have a compilation of documentaries, yeah? So this one should be active by Saturday. We're just finalizing on a few things. So when you click on it, we have about over 100 documentaries talking about artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science, social engineering, a lot of stuff that are really enriching, and you can watch them as a family, as a group of, really compilations of documentaries on that platform. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to take you through. Of course, you've seen footprints. These are our partners and clients, our certification partners. So we have these options for certification. There's a Mapar, Kaggle, LinkedIn, Dataiku, and we ourselves, we are NITA certified. Yeah, so just to encourage that you're in safe hands. We've got all these brands we've trained, corporates, we've trained executives from all these brands that you're seeing here. Yeah, so thank you once again for making a choice to join us in the data science journey, and we look forward to an exciting time with you. That's it. So I wanted to open the floor for some questions, or if there are no questions, I'd like Eric and Fiona to say a word, and then we'll call it a day in about 5 minutes.
So thank you, team. Eric here. I guess my input will be a lot of the material that you learn. The best way to learn it will be with a lot of practice. So even with all the resources that team has mentioned, the best way to put it all together and remember it is doing a lot of practice during the week. So whatever course, whatever lesson you have on the Saturday, if you can find, go over that material again and practice by yourself. He's mentioned the exam portal, exams.predictive analytics. So just send me your email addresses. My number is on the WhatsApp group that was created, and then I'll set that up for you. That's a good way of testing your learning, testing your knowledge, whether you understood the material, and whatever you didn't understand, then you can go over that again. In terms of other societies, other areas where you can plug in, Tim mentioned that I'm involved with the Nairobi Data Visualization Society. So it was actually a group that began on meetup.com, and I attended one of their functions last year and got to talk with the organizers. And as a result of that, one other person who had attended that meeting and I got together and put together a presentation on visualization using one of the many tools available. This one is called eCharts. It's a web-based, JavaScript-based tool for visualization. And we have since gone on and working towards formalizing the group. So these are some of the opportunities that can come up if you just see what else is out there. As Tim has mentioned, there are very many different areas of data science depending on what your specific preferences are. And you can meet a group of people that is doing that specific thing. So yeah, I guess that would be the contribution that I have towards this.
Yeah, thank you, Eric.
Hi guys. I'm sorry I came in a bit late, so I might have missed introduction. I'm Fiona. I'm likely to take you through your first class on Saturday. Introduction to Python. It's not, if you don't have a programming background, it's not something too difficult. Python is among the simpler programming languages. It's very intuitive, so don't feel intimidated by any bit. If you have any questions, especially on installation of the software, kindly ask on the group before Saturday so that by Saturday, we're ready to start off. See you on Saturday.
Thank you, Fiona. Alice, you want to say something?
Yes. Hi, guys. Thank you for making it happen today. I appreciate your time. So there are some guys who didn't make for today's welcome session. About the guys will be joining us on Wednesday. Yeah. So on the installation, like we shall we shall share with you the process of how you'd be able to download the Anaconda installation, which is Python, by your email addresses. So in case you get stuck, you can reach me out, Fiona. And then you can also do the registration at lab.predictive analytics. So when we shall be sharing the process of installing the Anaconda, we shall also attach all those other links which are useful for now. So bye.
Yeah, thank you, Alice. Yeah, so maybe we just want to hear a word from each of you as we conclude. We can start the same way we started. Philinda, you can start us off. What are your comments?
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
All I can say is that the session was very interactive, and I think I look forward to learning from predictive analytics. I think I just had an idea of what data science is, but taking us through that whole presentation has opened my eyes, especially when it comes to business analytics. So yeah, I look forward to it. And then maybe just to get a clarification, what are we supposed to download or get before the Saturday class?
Okay. So at first it's just simple. Just log into lab.predictiveanalytics.co.ke and then set up a student profile. And then from there now we'll take you through the next step. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Alice and Fiona will be in touch with each of you to just ensure that you've downloaded the right software. The link is on the platform. Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Welcome. Next is Victoria.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
The introduction was very informative. I look forward to a very interactive season and growth as well.
Thank you. All right. Yeah, thank you for making the choice, and we look forward. Then there is Kevin.
Hi again. The session was interactive, as the teams mentioned, and I'm confident that I've signed up for the right package to propel me to what I want to achieve in the next career move that I want to make, and I'm looking forward to learning more. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Trevor.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
I just I don't really have any questions, but I just like everyone said, I think that was a very informative session, and I look forward to what it's going to provide for all of us. Thank you.
All right, welcome. Okay, so I'd like to thank you again for the time. So on Saturday we start at 10 a.m. Yeah, so just a block of your time. We'll share. It's going to be on the same platform. Yeah, so in case you need some variations in time, it's a democratic. We can always agree on a suitable time, but we wanted to keep the motions of having classes on Saturdays so that to have your weekdays to do your other engagements. Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, that's it from me, and thank you so much for making time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good night.
All right. Bye-bye and good night.
Bye.